I removed the heat plate from the 3D printer to fix the rattling. I think some of the screws are loose, and by doing that I broke one of the thingies that held the belt in place. So basically this is the belt, and the belt is locked down here and pressed against the metal by one of these acrylic plates, and by tightening them I broke it. When I built the printer I knew that they are really that you have to be careful not to break those stuff, and so I was careful, and now I forgot because it's under there and you don't see it, you just see the screws on top because the belt is again just fed under here. Problem is I can't print one because obviously the printer is disabled, as you see, and so I had to make one of my own, and I used something like this L-shaped piece of metal, and I drilled another hole in there so it fits. Now I will just cut it down here and cut it in twice, and then I fix it down here. I will also immediately replace this one, the working one, because it's just a matter of years until I break this one too. So the idea with cutting is to cut the steel only and not your fingers or something else. The overall theme is look how much effort you do to save some effort, because I do not want to cut this by hand and have only one alternative to this. Either I cut it by hand or I use the saw. But I can't take this and hold it at the same time, and you shouldn't do this. And it's too small because the saw covers the whole thingy. So next thing was, I thought it could be wise to just screw it on here. But then I had to find some screws and stuff like that, and so I just use hot glue and let's see if it works or not. Oh, perfect. It lasted as long as it should have been. Nice. So, since we are now experts in hot gluing stuff and cutting it, we are doing it again. This time we need to cut here. And since the direction will be in this one, I will add some more glue here and there. Just to put the mind at ease. So I'll clean that up in the meantime. That's nice. Let's go. Easy. The belt is fixed again, this time with the metal parts. And next thing I wanted to change is like soldering, removing this pins here and this connector and soldering in the cables directly, because you see I already botched the wire here. That was because you see this the upper one started melting, and if you have a look at this, the lower one is also colored. So we will remove this thing and the receptacle and the plug and solder the wires in directly. So this should lower the resistance and therefore not adding up to burning the house down. And if you use these things, these really cheap ones, it's really good to have something like this. Like the smoke detector, they go really well with each other. And another thing is, that's really interesting, the caution warning, and so don't touch it, is actually on the back side, flip side of the heat plate, so you can't see it. So it's not much use, I think. But nice to have it here. At least if you assemble it, then you have a good feeling that somebody thought about you, that you won't burn yourself. This is LED. See, quite beautiful connections. And by reminder, I'll just put the heat shrink on and then we can flip it around. So that looks nice and tidy, I hope. That should be safe now, hopefully. Otherwise there's still, in any case, there's still the smoke detector up there. And I also put in there some hints for me, which direction to turn, because I always was wondering. The thing that is left is that I have to level the plate. I will do this at the end because I have some other ideas before that. Because one of the latest improvements was me putting tiny LEDs under the printing head. And those LEDs are linked to the LED power supply here. But this means that the printer is now locked in place with the power supply, and I want to make it detachable. Okay, that looks much better now. And yeah, maybe it was just a reason to use the crimping tool more often. But now I can detach the printer whenever I want. Again, perfect. So another mystery solved. This thing provides 240 watts. I don't know if this is enough or not, but it was enough until now. And the next thing I wanted to do is, since I have to level it anyway, to put proper spade connectors here for the power lines. And of course I disconnected the power and flipped every switch, so there's absolutely no power on there. But I prefer disconnecting the power physically than just flipping the switches, because flipping a switch is much more easier and faster done than just plugging something in. You really have to want to plug something in. Whereas with the switch, you can just stumble upon it or activate it by accident. Pull the cable out, take the 2 seconds, and then you're fine. And done. Nice, nice, nice. We're back and running. Last thing to do is to level the bed. And then we're done. And for leveling the bed, we are preheating the bed so that the bed is in the final shape it has when we are printing stuff. Yep. So, happy leveling.